Hello, and welcome to an episode of Rambling Weekly. I believe it's the 113th. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. And it's going all right. It's actually been a little bit of time since I've recorded one. I did the one last episode with a guest with Graham. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But we did that about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't done one of these since then. I've gotten rid of the face fur. The other fur on top of my head is also gone. I've turned into a naked mole rat, and I've quickly regained some of that hair as it is quick to regrow. Yeah. But yeah. So in between then, I've done 2 streams reading through Sage's Calling. We're going to go through the book. So yeah, if you want to join in, I do that Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. A little bit of a Saturday morning brunch sort of thing. Have some biscotti and some coffee, and it's a cozy, comfy time. So yeah, it's been good. It's good because it also going through and making some notes so I don't muck up stuff for part 2. So that is important. And I'm, let's see, where am I at in part 2? I am 122 pages. Handwritten so far. That's where I'm at. Haha, look at that. Yeah, so it's coming along slowly. I keep on having these bouts of doing a little bit and then not doing anything. So I need to knuckle down, buckle up, pen to paper. I don't know what else to. But I got that. What else? Work has been work. It hasn't been too obnoxious, but part of it's just because of being outside a bunch when it's mildly chilly, and by that I mean like wind chills in the single digits and stuff. It just drains you. You get home and you're like, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to sleep. And then I don't really sleep. I just kind of veg out, which isn't great. Part of that, I think, is I just need to lose some weight, but that's never. That's an easy thing to admit, but it's a hard thing to do sometimes, because food can be very tasty, very tasty indeed. So, but yeah, that. What else is going on? What's going on? Truthfully, not a whole lot. I was supposed to be trying to play through Omicron the Nomad Soul for a little challenge thing, but I have tapped out on that. Like, I was supposed to be reading a book for the month, and I haven't really got anywhere on that. I've this month has been a wash. Where I have failed in so many other ways. At least for 2 of the at least to start, so 2 Saturdays, because I've been doing the recordings for the readings for Sage's Calling. So yeah, that is where we're at right now. I know I have like so many other things I need to start getting into. It just can be. I mean, I think other people can understand this. It's one of those things where you're trying to balance. It's like how much do you try to go nose to the grindstone and do the you gotta hustle and all this sort of stuff. Oh, you're not hustling correctly if it's not doing anything for you, and it's just a mess. It's just an annoying mess. Like, I I have gotten so tired, and this is going to be just like straight into whatever the topic is. The topic is just about that. I think we need to learn to have a little bit more fun, and not necessarily concentrating on things. It seems like the fun is, especially with things like TikTok, YouTube, Facebook Shorts, Twitter, and X, whatever the hell, social media in general, is that the push is to be entertaining, but entertaining isn't fun. I mean, it can be, but a lot of times it is pushed into this separate category, hence why it's a separate word. Because entertaining doesn't necessarily mean fun, and I think that we have lost our way a lot. Not everybody, of course. There's plenty of people having fun, perhaps a little too much fun, much to the chagrin of what others think. But I think the silliness is a little I don't say pantomimed, but it's almost like going through motions of something. And if you're just going through the motions on anything, are you really actually being silly? I guess that's the lack of feeling things, or everything just feels boring, or everything's there was a video that popped up that I had on the background while I was doing my laundry and stuff. It was like talking about like definition for slop, and it made me think of the I think it was the Weltschmerz video from a few ramblings ago, coupled with like the algorithmically chained one from nearly a year ago, talking about just following the algorithm, that and the idea of making entertainment that's referred to as like second screen in a way, which is interesting because I don't really have a second screen. I have a mess. And then I have a small TV for recording stuff that I still need to get more into. But I think it's because of I have the deformity of the birth defect of the one ear has enlightened me in certain ways that and has shielded me from certain things, this being one of them. And I've told coworkers this before or something, like if I'm counting something, or if I'm like in the middle of trying to do something, I'm like, stop. I can't do it. I literally have to focus on the one thing. Sure, I can have something on in the background, but like even like when I'm doing laundry or something, I'm still kind of focusing on what's being said, as opposed to, I mean, laundry I can kind of just turn into that's a mindless thing. Outside of fitted sheets, I don't think you need too much of a wrinkled brain to fold up laundry. Or it's a shirt, hang it up. Oh, it's another shirt, hang it up. It's a nicer shirt, hang that up. Maybe kind of divide it up. No, either way, it's not. That's very mindless activity. But like I have to focus on a video or something. That's why like I noticed when I was writing part 1 for Sage's Calling, like I couldn't have like a lot of vocal songs or even just background audio or things like that, because it would be too distracting, because my brain would want to focus on it. And so like it has to focus on it. So there's a lot of this media that doesn't look interesting to me, so I'm just kind of like, no. And then you end up hearing that more and more it's being geared towards just being this sort of it's the video game or the TV show in the background of the TV show kind of thing, and so you're not even really paying attention to it. But it has shielded me from that sort of thing, and I find that very concerning. And that's not everybody, but the video I watched, I can't even remember. It was like Pillar of something. Where? I'll look it up. because I'm not too familiar with Pillar of Garbage. That is a channel name. But yes, Pillar of Garbage is Slop Economics. This was from 3 months ago. But and I've said this before when it comes to things. It's like, if you don't like something, I find it's more important to just not engage with it, because even if it's something you find reprehensible or dislike, in the form of like entertainment or something, that seeds into you. Like, you're still, even if you are, what happens if you are so like oppositional toward it is you become that mirror reflection of it, right? Sure, you may not agree with those things, but you exhibit similar behaviors, and they become worse and worse and worse. Plus, it just puts, Barbra Streisand effect. You just put more of a spotlight on something you don't like. I feel like that, as much as I like harp on something like Final Fantasy V, it's people who know me / have like watched videos and stuff are like aware of how like that's a constant one that comes up, where it's like other things might not, think of I guess for example, The Last Story. Does that one pop up a bunch? No, I really like that game, but it is buried on the Wii. Like, actually no, Xenoblade got off the Wii. But that focus on that concentration of just dislike, that's why I've not really been so interested or geared towards the, I don't want to say hate monger crowd, because that's not the hate merchants. It just sounds so stupid. But a lot of those channels springboarded. How about that? That's the word I wanted. Springboarded off of things like AVGN, in that sort of demeanor when talking about things, and it's shifted since then, but the shift has, in response, has been more of a studious kind of thing. And then the silliness turns into, how to put it, I guess just the entertainment thing. It's more of seen of like trying to be entertaining as opposed to just being silly. And I think it's easier for the more studious, or even just the angrier ones, to make that a little bit more of their, like, to kind of plant some of that in there. I think somebody who does a really good job with it is I think Modular, I think that's how you say his name. He's been going through the Ultima series, and he did like a big episode on what was the one? Not the Sega Saturn. He did like the Sega Saturn RPGs and stuff like that. But I think he does a really good job of making some of the funnies. That also just depends on if somebody's funny or not. I don't think I'm funny, but I also think that comes from growing up and being picked on all the time for the ear, and just sort of taking a very long time to understand that it's not every barb thrown at somebody is meant to be malicious. Sometimes it's just kind of being cheeky, and it took a very long time to understand that. But I think that is a problem that is hitting on a more wider scale. not just because I'm a bit fatter nowadays than I was when I was a kid, but just more people seem inclined to be very literal with everything, with words, intentions, and I mean some that's, it's hard to be able to parse out, especially for people you don't know, or at least are aware of. So things have gotten very serious on that front, and they're very serious everywhere. I mean, I have lost count at how. I mean, this is 2025, so this is nearly a decade later. People are still bringing up things with like Gamergate and woke this, cringe that, and it is what would you would say, very tiring. It's a very tiring thing, but to always be on the attack for something and just be like, oh, I dislike this, so boom boom boom. And there are those people who don't go that route. They go with, oh, well, this is the thing I like, and so I'm going to talk about the thing I like. And I think that is the way to combat it. But the problem is that it takes more energy, more voices, more of a chorus to talk about the nice things, as opposed to have the aggressive, oh, just like this. I could be wrong, but it does feel that way. It feels like it's a very easy thing to rally the troops to blast into something, and then like I caught something, I don't even remember what the heck it was, but it was talking about like Civ 7 that just came out, and a big channel talking about how, oh, well, it's bad because XYZ, and my brother picked it up, and yeah, he's been playing a little bit, and my brother's been playing since, I think he played a little bit of Civ 3. I imagine he did. I mean, he was a bit younger, but I know he played a lot of like Civ 4 and has been playing it. He's bigger into it than I ever got into it, even though I love Civ 3. I'm one of those ancient fogies. I just need to build my mines all around, just nothing but mines. Turn the land into one mine hellscape. That every fourth tile make a city, and just go from there. It is not healthy. It is a bit psychotic, but you win Civ 3 playing that way. So, but yeah, he was saying, there's some things I like this, I like that, I don't like this, but never once was he coming up with talking about some mundane, ridiculous thing that doesn't have anything to do with it. There's this whole background noise of some random game news article puts out something talking about, oh, game X has been doing well, and then 4 channels plus will go, no, they're not doing well, here's the numbers for it and stuff. And it's very silly, but not in the good way. I really don't know. I guess this is very much old man in the woods shouting at people to stay away from my cave. My little goblin gremlin cave. But I just don't get it. I don't really get, and I've tried a couple times to maybe do like a recap of the news sort of thing, but in the same hand, A, there's a bunch of that already, and B, I don't think it's a good use of my time. Because I think that's the other thing I have a problem with, is just kind of regurgitating and then needling things. Because I think it's very easy to attack like a piece, but there's no like dialogue going on, and I get it. If you put some people together, the dialogue is going to be nothing but, you know, barking. But it feels like there's also just a lot of like backbiting going on, and it is not good behavior. But I guess I should say it's not like healthy behavior, especially when I want to say incentivize, but I mean, it's kind of like a cascade effect of, oh, well, we see how this person's doing. They're doing well with this. Well, I'm going to do something similar too. And I think there is a place to like call out when people are fibbing, when things don't seem quite right. But I think it's slated. I know he and I talked a little bit about it before on something, but I think it's I mean, not like personally, but on a little click clack chit chat thing. But when you've dressed up and built yourself to be in opposition to something, you know, to borrow good old Nietzsche's bit there, like when you stare into the abyss is going to stare back into you. Or, you know, if you're holding a hammer, all your problems start to look like nails. And I think that's sort of my gripe, is that everything is turned into the thing I don't like is whatever, XYZ. And it doesn't identifying a problem is one thing, having solutions to a problem are an entirely different thing, and I don't think that simply identifying is enough of a solution to rectify a problem. I think being a little bit more, being just a little bit more silly would do some good. And perhaps there's a lot more silliness going on, but it used to be that the internet was the silly place, and then you would actually be more serious in what you do outside the internet. It feels like it has been flipped, or there are people playing a 3-card Monty of the game, and I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. But it is something that, I don't know. You know, you have YouTube on for a moment, and then you get sent all these different suggestions for things, and it's like, what in the blue blazes is 90% of this? It's either attempting to like be a novelty act, where it's like, oh, we've got the newest thing, and I got to get ahead on something. It's like when some people might be a bit deflated with I was gonna do a review on I don't know, Fantasia Neo Dimension, and then you see somebody do a review on it or something, and then it's like, well, I can't do it now, and it's like, that's not how that works. I think that was an attitude for a while there. I could be wrong, but it seemed like that was an attitude for a bit from people, and I mean attitude and bit, like 15 years ago. Back in my day, we have it feels like to be the novelty, to try to be like, oh, well, I've got this new thing, I've done the new thing, and sometimes it bleeds into, well, like, here's, you've seen somebody speed run Castlevania, but here's playing Castlevania without getting hit, or only with daggers, or something like that. There's a silliness to that. There's also a madness to it, and sometimes it's interesting to see the madness unfold. But I don't know. It's either that, or it's trying to, like, like, that's the like the big one. You have that, or and I think in the grand scheme of things, it's everybody's just, because of the internet, it makes it seem more cacophonous than what it really is, or different than what it really is, and it's really no different than just what it has been, of everybody trying to explain either something about themselves, something about life. I mean, what do you think I'm doing here? just trying to like, talk about what kind of comes into my head and stuff. Hence why it's a double entendre with weekly. Even though I've been much better about it in the last year and a half. But I get it's trying to, like, explain the world we live in and everything like that. Just try to come up with some answers, and hopefully other people might like or agree with the answers that we come up with. But in the same hand, everybody needs to kind of come up with some of their own answers on things, and eventually you get into some heavier topics. But I mean, just in the sense of rationalizing some stuff. I just wish more people would have fun doing it, because it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't seem like it. It's kind of turned into a very business-like approach to everything, whether that's trying to be entertaining, trying to be educational, trying to be a mixture of the two, trying to do this and that. There is, like, everybody wants to, like, fault the whole thing with capitalism, and maybe the one thing that doesn't get brought up enough is the mindset, not necessarily the greed mindset, but, and I've mentioned this a few episodes ago, but everything becomes transactional, and it turns into, I think that in itself is I think that in itself is probably the most damning thing. Is, it's what do you offer somebody? Like, well, it's really not. That's not how you should look at something. Unless you're trying to get ahead. But what are you trying to get ahead of? Like, what's the keeping up with the Joneses? Are you doing that? Are you trying to get better with this or whatnot, instead of just kind of taking the thing you like and enjoying it, and and trying to have some personal pride, have some personal accomplishments or what have you. I mean, there's a neurosis to that as well, right? You accomplish something, and then what do you do after that? Do you enjoy that? Do you start going stir crazy for the next thing you need to accomplish? I don't know. I have nothing else to add because I'm an idiot. Like I said, I just wish there would be a little bit more silliness in things. But like I said, there is a time and place for it, and I think silliness is being masqueraded around as entertainment, and that's not quite the same thing. I don't know. Play. But that's what I guess I wanted to talk about for the short one. The end. Thanks for listening. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below and all that sort of fun jazz. Don't forget to mix a little bit of silliness in your own life. And maybe there is plenty of it. But like I said, it does feel... I feel like the script's a little flipped if you're making your seriousness being projected through the internet and saving all the silliness for real life stuff. Because the internet isn't real. None of this is real. It's not real. So, thanks for watching, or listening, or whatever. Enjoy your day, weekday, weeknights, and everything in between. I did not think of an outro. I should have really thought of one, and this has been the case for like the last 5-6 episodes. The outro will be... No, I don't want to do that. That's too easy of a cop-out. Oh, fiddlesticks. I really should have... The outro shall be what I want it to be. We'll do the East Piano Collection, the first one, and see you again. We'll do that as the outro. So I'll see you again. See you next week. And until then, take care. Toodles.